Hello everyone, and now welcome to a 1v1 human mirror match, HawK versus Cause. This game taking place here on Northern Isle. Let's go ahead and take a look at things not so close. I can't believe that the original game was like this close, like in terms of zoom. Like it makes me think like how did I ever really play this? Trying to click on everything and keep track of everything on the map that's going on. Anyways, we have HawK spawning as the blue human on the top right-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, on the bottom left, we have Cause spawning under the name Magic Gnome as the yellow human. Human versus human here on Northern Isle. One of those classic maps now that it's been part of the map pool for so long. And, well, a very much beloved map during the time when there was not a very large number of Warcraft 3 map makers. Now that there are more map makers out there, we see different types, different strategies, and different tile sets. It feels like everything after Frozen Throne was almost this frost set a little bit too much, and now we're trying to actually experiment more with those other tool sets as well. Footman now going to get trained up. Archmage getting trained up by Cause. Meanwhile, off on the north-hand side, Footman and Archmage as well. So far, a true mirror match, except for that HawK has not put down his second farm is actually a little bit delayed, therefore being a little bit behind on these footmen as well. But now, well, evening things up. 21 over 24, both sides being about the same here, as HawK building up this third and final farm to try and protect against any run-ins with that Archmage. Now, with this said, we're going to be looking to see what type of strategy these human players are going for. Are they trying to very fast level up on their Archmage before moving out? That is normally the case and is easily done off of this 5-4-4 creep camp. With one water elemental tanking, Militia going after the Tuskar warriors or the Tuskar trapper and that Ogre Magi, it's very easy to try and take them down. There is a wand of mana stealing as well being dropped here. That could be important as it denies water elemental for your opponent while giving yourself perhaps an extra water elemental as well. We'll see if that is going to be used early on, as we see a potion of invulnerability now being picked up by Cause. Still, both sides still doing a little bit of creeping here. Tech to tier 2s. No real sign. 13 workers versus 15. HawK maybe trying to go for an expo. Meanwhile, what is Cause doing back here? He is building up an arcane tower as well, making sure that, well, water elementals don't cause any real serious problems. All right, back off to the north. Ogre Warrior going to get taken down there. Gloves of Haste picked up, finishing off this last Ice Troll. Gonna just grab some items, make your hero a little bit stronger, but not get any true experience. Militia now being called over to the Goblin Laboratory. Cause is going to be very aggressive here. Will get to level 3 off of this creep camp. Dual water elementals sharing that aggro damage and while absorbing quite a bit of damage here, as we do see level 3 and now also picking up a pendant of energy. All right, picking up that pendant of energy, already up to, what, 475 maximum mana, nearly more mana than hit points, as we're looking now off to the north side here. Level 3 on the Archmage does have that wand of mana stealing, and we'll see what will come of this. All right, are we going to steal a steal? No, we are not. Well, yes, we did see a steal, so now one more water elemental will be available, and so we're going to be looking at, well, level 3 water elementals trying to engage against each other. Arcane Tower being placed down. Cause does have a second water elemental in this fight, but he's going to get taken down easily as well. The big water elemental of HawK down to 51 hit points, trying to back away. Cause is trying to make sure to try and get the last and final hit, and it does get that last final hit right there and gain a bit more experience. Meanwhile, HawK placing down another water elemental here with the help of that wand of mana stealing, may be able to try and do it again if there is enough here. Meanwhile, Archmage gonna finish off that footman and snipe him down. All right, both sides still engaging. HawK gonna finish off one of Cause's water elementals here. This Archmage down or up to 115 mana, down to 102 now. Are we going to see perhaps another Wand of Mana stealing, trying to steal that bit of mana? And yes, going to be able to drop another Water Elemental as well. This Wand of Mana stealing making a big difference, denying a Water Elemental for Cause, as he's going to be trying to retreat back. Meanwhile, HawK has the benefit of an additional Water Elemental, maybe two, when the time comes. Potion of Invulnerability not used, so you judge for yourself who came out ahead. Wand of Mana stealing used effectively to keep Cause's Archmage at bay. Tech to Tier 2 nearly halfway done. Tech to Tier 2 has not started for HawK, but his Expo is nearly up and operational. Gonna perhaps place down some sentry wards, gain some sight and information on the incoming Archmage if he does try and engage. HawK, well, currently in the supply lead, but that is going to be majority because of those additional workers. Meanwhile, we are going to be looking at a militia call to arms, trying to hold off and fend off all of these footmen. Low hit point footmen is going to get healed up here, going to try and perhaps retreat back and use a Scroll of Regeneration. There drops another Water Elemental. Well, there is, well, Clarity Potion being used by the Archmage, but that quickly comes to an end as the footmen are going to try and wander back over here. Arcane Tower, a couple of footmen healing in the back while the fight is going on. HawK's Archmage going to get taken down there as Cause getting up to 3.5. Both sides engaging pretty heavily as the Water Elementals are getting shooed away as more militia now being called over. All right, footmen looking to engage here. One Arcane Tower trying to offer a little bit of support. Some footmen are getting taken down on both sides as HawK's own Archmage needs to break the lines in order to run away. Too much range damage by Cause. Now, Cause coming in with a Panda. We could be looking at a big Breath of Fire here across multiple units. That is big damage for only 70 mana, but is it going to actually translate to a death? Yes, one peasant already taken down. Another peasant could get taken down as well, as we see another Breath of Fire blow on through. Arcane Tower now targeting that Brewmaster. Brewmaster needs to back away again as the footmen are trying to stay relatively close here. Brewmaster has enough mana for another Breath of Fire, tries to blow over, takes down another footman there. Level 2 Brilliant Sword now available for the Archmage, but that is just translating into more damage onto that Archmage because of that Arcane Tower moving it. Brewmaster desperately wants a lot of mana, sees a whole bunch of targets that he could just huff and puff and blow over like the big bad wolf. Is that footman going to perhaps get in the way? It looks like it did get in the way temporarily, but it's not going to be enough as the footmen are going to be able to get inside under the relative safety behind the farms. Archmage using a Potion of Invulnerability, able to break free right there. A number of low hit point footmen not getting targeted. This Water Elemental level 2 variety Panda going to come back around, perhaps going to perhaps take down some of these peasants here. These footmen are low on hit points and they are not getting targeted so far. All right, one footman about to get taken down. That one down to 6 hit points. He was trying to die onto some creeps, but those creeps were already cleared out. Archmage down to 52 hit points. Drops another Water Elemental. Militia trying to push back the other way, down to 48. Breath of Fire trying to blow over some of those remaining units as there goes another peasant again. Archmage now up to level 4. Scroll of Regeneration perhaps. Well, he's still healing. Going to try to drop some more Water Elementals as Cause is going to be forced to retreat back home. Tech to Tier 2 is complete. There's plenty of gold for HawK to try and train up more peasants. Perhaps train up a Mountain King as well, as we see the blacksmiths now being placed down. No Arcane Sanctums that I see, but look at this. So many of HawK's units are in the red, hiding behind the base. One Scroll of Regeneration will make up a lot of that here, as we see HawK now going for a Naga Sea Witch. Naga Sea Witch Priest quickly gets taken down by some creeps as the Archmage now pushes forward, perhaps trying to, well, stop this Expo from being able to really pay for itself and give too much of an economic advantage. Archmage still low on hit points. A priest needs to do some manual healing, get that Archmage back into a comfortable spot. We're looking at a 33 supply compared to 46 army size difference. Cause is still behind, 18 compared to 24. And now that both sides have heroes, this game is actually much closer. We are going into a castle by Cause while he's staying on one base. Brewmaster really needs to get up to level 2, perhaps try to, well, press some sort of hero level advantage, as the Naga Sea Witch is also looking to do a similar strategy. The sorcerers will get cleaned up here. Well, easy way to target some creeps, try and take them down. Ice Troll, Warlord will fall. There's a quick breath of fire as well, taking down those units. Magic, well, Kaz is going to end up losing that footman if he is not careful. One more final shot, cold arrow in the back, shuts it down here. Brewmaster abolished magic, no, sorry, dispel magic from the priest now, and suddenly HawK's army, because of that dispel magic, looks incredibly weak as more damage is still racking up. Brewmaster may be able to get off another breath of fire here. Is he going to be able to take down all of those footmen or any of those footmen? That is the question, but still not yet at level 2 breath of fire. Kaz is going to take this opportunity to try and get to level 3 on the Panda. I believe he'll be just shy here, but gaining a little bit of more experience, as now HawK coming back the other way, now currently sitting in low upkeep. 52 supply compared to 39. Archmage looking to pick off all of these priests, and this is just an army of heroes and priests right now, trying to keep the Brewmaster alive and that Archmage alive. The Brewmaster could give the Robe of Magi to the Archmage for additional attack damage, as we see some more mass dispels there. Brewmaster now a little bit closer to level 3 once more, as we still see some more damage come back across. There's the Breath of Fire finishing off that Null Brute, I believe, as we are looking at a little bit more damage. That footman about to get taken down. One more shot, yes, in the back. Brewmaster gets to level 3. All right, yes, definitely right on the money. 500 over 900 experience. Suddenly, that power spike going from having that Breath of Fire going from 70 to 140 damage is quite significant. Meanwhile, Archmage is looking to perhaps gain a little bit more experience, as the Panda, well, tries to test the waters here. The footmen weren't in the frontline spot. There's a Drunken Haze Breath of Fire. A Sentry Ward now being placed down by Kaz, as we see Blizzard getting retrained. Archmage is going to have to be very careful. He's trying to get into position here. Naga Sea Witch gets a Fork Lightning off, but only on one single target, as a big Breath of Fire goes down across multiple footmen. Suddenly, all of those footmen are pretty much in trouble. They do not want to be in that fight, as all of those priests are trying to heal them up again. Meanwhile, Spellbreakers are now transitioning in by HawK, so Breath of Fire is going to be feeling a bit weaker as well. However, Kaz comes back the other way, saying, I already have the counter to your counter. Knights go, and they are charging headlong into this battle. Knight's going to be backed up by the Paladin with Holy Light, as the Knight is a very fast-moving attack unit. Panda going to go ahead and get off another Breath of Fire there. Needs to back away. New Spellbreakers coming back across, as that Brewmaster down to 52 hit points. Holy Light in time. Just a split second in time there to stay. All right, that Paladin's presence immediately known and felt, as we see a Breath of Fire go across multiple priests again. Archmage looking at this fight, going back and forth here. Not quite sure what's going on with my overlay. Thank you. As the Breath of Fire going to try and engage against all these units. Breath of Fire not actually taking down that low hit point footman. I believe that footman was denied there, as the Panda currently still getting some Holy Light, trying to stay alive. Priests need to, well, stay on top of that Brewmaster, keep him healed up. Knight also needs that as well. Does have the Animal War training, but with so many units coming in from HawK, a 71 supply, a 47 supply army going up against 35, that is a very drastic difference. All right, Brewmaster going to try and engage here. Could get another Breath of Fire off. I don't believe he did. No, the Spellbreaker is able to remove much of that precious mana, as the Paladin going to get another Holy Light right there. Paladin really needs to get some more experience. Hasn't killed anything as of yet. That is a big deal, as HawK is just disrupting the lines of Kaz's army with that Blizzard. It looks as though a Knight, well, did a Knight get taken down? No, Paladin now being forced to retreat all the way back. No Staff of Sanctuary, as the Sorceresses are now out for HawK. All right, normally you rarely see Sorceresses in a human versus human mirror match because of Spellbreakers. But because Kaz is not going for Spellbreakers, instead of going Knight Priest, Sorceresses are actually useful. I take it back. Kaz coming back around, now bringing a couple of Sorceresses here, and now Footmen are diving on into this fight for no real reason. What is going on here? Gonna try and take down some of those units, as the Paladin is in that frontline spot. Are these Footmen are just gonna engage freely? That is an odd spot to be in, as the Brewmaster down to 3 hit points finally gets taken out, but does have an Ankh of Reincarnation. All right, unit still trying to retreat back. Water Elemental gonna get puffed down here. Brewmaster gets resurrected. Meanwhile, a lone Knight fighting up against this Footman here. Knight definitely gonna win out in that trade and perhaps even be able to catch up if necessary. Both sides still fighting through. Paladin gonna try and chase after more units. Slow on that Knight, unable to close in on that distance as Spellbreakers going after these units again. All right. Sundering Blades diving or cleaving through the armor of that Spellbreaker. Archmage gets a quick scroll of healing to try and stay alive. Units are still retreating back. Nearly level 5 for the Archmage of HawK. Already level 5 for Cause as we're still cleaning up some of these last remaining units. Priest down to 4 hit points. He ends up staying alive. Footman, well, getting finished up by that Arcane Tower there. And that fight has come to an end. A long, drawn-out battle here on Northern Isle, pushing all the way back to the home of HawK. HawK does have one Knight being left behind here. Needs to get a Dispel Magic. Need to shake off those cold arrows. As HawK now also coming to the fight with Knights of his own. However, HawK does have a significant upgrade advantage. 1-2 upgrades on those Knights, even if he does not have Animal War Training. All right, I believe that Knight is going to try and, well, visit this town hall here and make some enemies, take down some peasants, and disrupt the economy. Knights with those Sundering Blades able to easily do that. Their Knight, however, well, still trying to retreat back. Are we looking? Oh, wait. All right, so sorry, the armor upgrade is there, weapon upgrade is there, so it's 1-1 versus 1-2. Sorry, the overlay doesn't seem to be fully operational and giving me misinformation. Only bad thing about lack of information is misinformation. True in life and true in Warcraft 3. Misinformation may lead you to make wrong decisions because you think you know what's going on. All right, I feel like I'm a father giving a little bit of a dad speech right now. Anyways, coming back around, mortar teams joining in on the battle as well. We are seeing a wide array of units and heroes as Paladins now coming back out on both sides. So I guess wide array now funneling back into Archmage Paladin with either a Panda or a Naga Sea Witch. Trying to pick off those slow-moving mortar teams. Mortar teams actually moving quite quickly. There's a big breath of fire. Mortar teams quickly getting taken down as this Knight tries to get Holy Light and tries to be saved. More damage racking on through. Are we going to see perhaps another breath of fire? A big AoE damage to try and finish off those Knights. Panda does have enough mana. There's a breath of fire, but this is the Knight there as we see a retrain into Blizzard. Blizzard destroying everything here in Warcraft 3. Coming back around, Paladin, Archmage, Brewmaster leading the charge again. Spellbreakers looking to back up the Sundering Blades. These Knights trying to get into position, but while walking through the storm, that Blizzard is racking up a lot more damage. Archmage uses a potion of invulnerability just in time, buys a potion of healing as well, was down to 9 hit points before the invul potion and then the subsequent potion of healing. Archmage could be in trouble. Gets another Holy Light to try and stay alive. Gonna use that potion of healing now, looking to back away. Priests need to give in a little bit more healing as well, as both sides still firing their way through. All right, Kaz comes in, gonna be doing some attacks with those mortar teams as well, trying to splash down some of those priests. And you can see armor types just using so well. There goes a Knight, or there goes a Knight taking down a Paladin as these priests are retreating back without, well, I've said this again, without any sort of slow or stun. It is very difficult to finish off any fleeing units, even if the Knights are moving at a faster pace. HawK sitting at 69 supply. Kaz sitting at 80. More priests showing up onto the battlefield. They are only at the adept training, even though we are at castle, as the Archmage looks to retreat back. Remember, priest at mastery training get a little bit more hit points, 40 more hit points. That is almost a full wave of Blizzard difference. And, well, could rack up a lot. Archmage still sitting at 65 hit points. Knight trying to chase after here, down to 35 hit points and able to survive again. That Knight is just continuing the charge, maybe able to get the final shot off. No, the Knight was in mid-swing and then got a bit too far again. No Staff of Sanctuary, or no mass Staff of Sanctuary use that I've seen so far throughout this matchup, as the units are still retreating back again. Panda, could it try and get a breath of fire off? Yes, a little bit too far though, as there is really no real fight here. I believe a Paladin, yeah, Paladin has fallen at level 2. Meanwhile, this Paladin still hanging on barely at level 1, needs to get a scroll of regeneration and heal up once more. 81 supply compared to 66. Cause has a larger army and is currently in well, high upkeep. That's never a place you want to be in, as that mortar team, well, offered himself up as a sacrifice. Couple of knights and spellbreakers being left off to the north, not engaging. Not quite sure what that is about, as the Brewmaster tries to head back here. Archmage does get, well, Archmage may want to transfer that scroll of Town Portal over. Are these knights? Yeah, knights and spellbreakers, do they realize that they're going to be too far away from home? They are going to realize that. Knights now trying to retreat back. And, well, it looks as though the cold arrow is going to well, stop one of these units. No, all of these units going to be able to retreat. Kaz had such a large army that he lost a couple out here on the battlefield, and that fight really could have swung in a different direction if he was more careful. We're looking at the Brewmaster using up a Clarity Potion. He'll be picking up that Pendant of Energy, and I believe that's the Robe of Magi? No, I can't. Oh, yeah, Robe of Magi, after regenerating much of that mana, already back up to 290 and growing quickly. Archmage, level 3 Blizzard, level 2 Brilliance Aura. No Arcane Vault here at this expo by Cause. Not a lot of fighting going on. Meanwhile, back off to the north, we're looking at HawK taking this opportunity to level up the Paladin and this Naga Sea Witch. Once more, I always like my Rings of Regeneration on that Paladin. Just the Paladin seems to be doing so much running around, and his inability to heal himself really helps out here. All right, up to 10 armor, so takes a little bit of less damage per attack now, as we now see a level 4 Brewmaster out here on the battlefield, perhaps going for level 2 Drunken Haze over level 2 Brawler. All right, top left corner get cleared up. Naga Sea Witch will get to level 4. Level 4 means perhaps Mana Shield. You really only need level 1 Cold Arrows. Magnacar Reaver going to get taken down. Naga Sea Witch is there. Paladin picks up a Kagar's Pipe of Insight, not the item he was looking for, as we see a quick round of barrages coming in from the mortar teams to take down an Arcane Sanctum. Both sides could be fighting their way through. There's Blizzard already raining down Archmage, trying to get into position here. Scroll of Healing, as the mortar teams are still lobbing their attacks as well. Blizzard absolutely just shaking up both of these armies here, as the mortar team should really be focusing down on these casters. You can see those casters getting actually splatted and sharing AoE damage as both sides are exchanging blows. Brewmaster has fallen at level 4, so Kaz is in some serious trouble as he's trying to go after some more of these units. Bloodlust actually being spread all across the map by the creeps and spellbreakers, as the Archmage now opts to teleport out. Oh, that one final lob attack nearly taking down a couple of priests left. Kaz retreats back 83 over 100 supply, but a big loss in losing that level 4 Paladin and giving essentially level 4 Panda, and essentially giving level 3 to HawK's Paladin. That little bit of additional experience, all that is needed, and the Paladin saying, you know what? He is going to be using that Kagar's Pipe of Insight just in case he's separated from that Archmage. Still has plenty of mana to use. All right, Priest are actually getting caught in transit here. This is a horrible spot to be in. Archmage needs to perhaps try and staff a Sanctuary or save some other units again. Paladin coming back across here. Mortar team's going to be lobbying as the Archmage comes across the Blizzard, the Goldmine line. All right, Blizzard raining down across this front line position. Difficult to say whose Blizzard is doing more damage, as the mortar teams of HawK are just trying to dodge Blizzard damage, and while also trying to dodge lobbing attacks from those subsequent mortar teams. All right, units are still fighting every which way. Militia now being called over. They're going to be turning back to their normal selves here, as the Paladin sitting at level 2 is a little bit of trouble. Archmage of Kaz gets up to level 6 first, but is it going to be too little too late? I believe so. Kaz ends up getting taken down. Does not use the potion of healing that was on him. Paladin did not have the heal in the time either, and I believe the wheels are starting to fall off for Kaz. HawK able to outlast against his opponent with those additional heroes. But as is said, there is still a large number of units out here on the battlefield. 49 supply compared to 42. Paladin trying to get away, perhaps going to get some no inner fire available. As no other units available, as the Paladin still trying to retreat back here. Mortar team still lobbing attacks here. Paladin trying to get away, taking a little bit of damage and still constantly walking. Yeah, one of those situations where I say, well, Archmage falls at level 5. All right. I thought the game was done. Paladin falls at level 3. Everyone is just losing heroes everywhere as this Brewmaster is trying to go up against all of these units. All right, Brewmaster down to 74, 75 mana. Is he going to turn around and try to get a Breath of Fire off onto some of those units? Going to go ahead and get a heal, trying to go up against some of these units again, as it looks as though this is going to get taken down. Brewmaster down to 64 hit points. Is he going to get taken down? Down to 14. He gets taken down as well. The Priest unable to heal up enough. No Breath of Fire to finish off those remaining units. And it feels like micro is no longer a thing right now. No one's really trying to get the most out of their units. Everyone is just constantly falling and dying as this Paladin is down to 56 supply and he's left. Kaz ends up leaving the game and HawK comes away with the victory. All right, the wheels fell off on both cars in this final race, and HawK still somehow manages to slide across the finish line to get the win. Let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments below.